Hello, YouTube fam. How you doing? It's your Uncle Tim. This is Uncle Tim Rants and Reviews, a channel where I rant and I review. I'm your host, Uncle Tim. Look, man, I'm about to get real with y'all. Sometimes I feel like I need to cry, bro. It's just like something seems so off. My kids lost their mother this year. Some other stuff happened this year. My wife lost her auntie. Some other stuff happened. And it was just a lot of shit happening, man, that just make me feel some kind of way. I think a lot of people don't understand. It's shit happening out here, bro. It's like the energy is so off. Man, I just feel like screaming. I feel depressed. I don't know why. I went out and bought some shit to try to cheer myself up. And I'm like, I'm still depressed. I'm like, what is going on? You want to know what's going on? The world is not right. There's so many things going on. There's so many things that got you feeling some kind of way. Bro, look, I'm not over here, trying to make you feel down, upset. Everybody got it different. Some people, Christmases are still the same, joyous with everybody around. Everybody laughing and having a good time, singing songs and stuff, just having fun. Me and my wife usually sing Christmas carols, when the songs are playing, and we just have a little fun with it. This year it just seems so different. These last couple of years felt different. It's not because of her. It just seems like it's just off. It just seems like something is not there. Not far as my relationship. I'm just talking about the holidays, bro. It seems like I'm not too vested in this holiday. With everybody being distant, like my family, they're in different places. My kids, they're in different places, man. And it's just like not being able to spend that much time with people because everybody got shit they got to do. People at work and all of that, man. So you can't just go running up on people like that. You get what I mean? So I'm just sitting here like, man, something got to give, bro. And this is when you sit back sometimes and say, look, I understand. I'm not a perfect person. I have issues, man. I have doubts. Sometimes, I second guess some of the decisions I make. I'm human. And sometimes I just sit there and look out the window and just be like, damn, you know, or, when I'm just tired, I just go in there and lay my damn head down because I'm tired. Just try, to think about something different, something better, bro. It's not always, going to be exciting in this world. Sometimes you're going to have to go through those moments when you self-doubting yourself and when things don't look right and don't feel fair. That's just life. It ain't nobody trying to say that you're not better than this person. You ain't this, you ain't that. It's just you feeling different, man. And you have every right to feel different. You have every right to look at the situation and be like, man, something is off. What do I do to get myself back, to the way it was before? There's so many variables, like each time, each year, something is different. And that takes away from a lot of stuff. My whole thing is when you start changing routine, things start getting different. My time is, my time. And sometimes, man, we all need a life preserver. Sometimes we all need somebody to throw us a life preserver. Because sometimes we drown. We drown trying to do the right things in life. We drown just being, too good. Sometimes you got to let people be. And you got to be able to sit back and just be okay with that. Some of your friends may be drowning out there. They going through some shit, bro. Sometimes you got to step back and be like, I can't help you. Because you fucking with my mental health. You constantly going through shit. It's not good for my mental health, bro. And like I said, you got to worry about your mental health this time of the year because there's so much going on. People are talking about, they losing their apartments, their cars, their houses, they losing their jobs. And you sitting here thinking to yourself, man, I don't have the time to listen to somebody who's going through something, man. I have friends who still talk about stuff like it happened yesterday, man. And I'm like, I'm not with that, man, and I distance myself from them because I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about, oh, man, you remember what we did in high school? I don't want to hear that. Dude, I'm not in high school anymore. Shit, I haven't been in high school in 30-something damn years. And I'm sitting here thinking, why are you still talking about this shit? How are you remembering this? You get what I'm saying? Man, but to later, fam, thank you for watching. Peace out.